Welcome, welcome. Hmm. It's such a funny thing to try to lay language to describe silence. It's- so when the words are received, the point being is that the content is nothing more than a bridge for the habit of the mind. For what is content? It is subjective mental interpretation. It is what creates the experience of separation. Content creates the experience of separation. So, what about living life, letting go of conditioned relationship with all content, all content? Everything the mind believes it knows. Where it cannot search, for there's nothing to search for that is all built by content. what is needed or missing in the absence of content. All content. What happens to the experience of a point of reference? Me. What happens to me when the relationship with content, just for this short period of time, where the relationship with content is just let go of? So there is the flavor of unknowingness, mindlessness, and there is not something trying to hold on, because that involves content. So what remains? What remains when content is given a vacation? All of a sudden there is a taste. It cannot be described because content is recognized to be irrelevant, totally irrelevant. Categorization, labeling, interpretation becomes impossible. So what remains? So language will be used as a bridge, but it is an energy bridge, not a content bridge. Content is the candy for this restless mind, but the bridge is energetic, unknowable. It is the feeling that cannot be touched by content anyway. It is the feeling of the presence that is now. Every time a word comes forth, to allow your existence to just feel it, to feel the energy in the vibration of the sound, as opposed to being distracted by this content-driven mind, always trying to improve something in this imaginary existence, which serves only as a function to reflect what created the forgetting of who you are. Its only role. Everything that is seen, heard, cognized, everything that is in a location, it is all a reflective teaching of that which created the forgetting of reality. When the word reality is used, you can forget the content of this too. You can forget the content of everything. It is a feeling. What is the feeling that neither comes nor goes? That the mind's content is always trying to own, but it is really so silly. In no content lives no meaning. No meaning means no candy for the desire system that is programmed in this robotic unit called my karma. There is no owner to karma. There is a robotic unit that is reflecting into what looks to be the external from the internal misunderstandings that created the forgetting into a world of content. You know, there is a recognition as a very young adult in the early 20s. This thing was a forest biologist, went into forest biology because every time there was moving into the natural environment, the woods, there was the experience of the point of reference dissolving, and it ignited a fire. So there was going to school and learning about all of the facts, all of the content, all of the intricate relationships. And you know what happened? Coming out, all of the beauty that pulled the heart into this was lost into a world of mental content. But mental content is made up. It is the mind's creation. The mind is not the devil or a problem. It's just it can only know content. And all content is describing a world of the future and the past. When content is gone, when the relationship with content is gone, what happens to the world of future and past? What is future free of knowing what future is? What is awakening free of knowing what awakening is? The truth is no one knows what awakening is because it is what is revealed when there is not the addiction to content. That wakeful consciousness already is. These characters are striving for something that already is. It is just masked by a constant following of this hypnotic addiction to content, which speaks a unique story for each player based on this computer program that the content says is my karma. But you look for the my, you do not find anything. And what is karma when there is no content? When there is no content, everything that is extra, that is distractive, that is mere habit, everything that has created the forgetting of the simplicity of your nature is released. So right now is the receiving of content, which is fine. It is fine. It lives on the surface. But it is pointing to a feeling of what is being received in the vibration of the energy inherent in the voice, inherent in everything. Everything is vibrating. Everything is vibrating everywhere. And this vibration is universal. And there is no content in it. It is right here. It is right here. We connect within it and it heightens where God's manifest creation meets its maker, where yin meets yang. Where Shiva and Shakti are tasted as one, where all is tasted as one, what remains is a feeling that has no content. Content free. What is the forest without knowing what a forest is? If you know what a forest is, you cannot really know what a forest is. If you know what a tree is, you cannot really know what a tree is. All that is known is an imaginary world built on content. And this beautiful wisdom is coming in to offer assistance in being freed of this familiar cage that is called knowing or content. What has no content is what truly knows. And what it knows, it feels. And what it feels is inside of itself. And you feel into, where did this start? There is no knowing, no need to know, no one to know. There is the feeling of eternity, which is now, and everywhere, and everything, always, without any content, without any information, without relating to the program that is called the mind. And then the reflection is received in totality. And the feeling of the totality is the feeling of energy. And the feeling of energy is this vibration. And every form and source of life has its own unique vibration. And it all melds into itself. And it is everywhere. And the recognition of it intensifies the vibration. It draws, it pulls the heart more intensely. There is a feeling. This is home. This is home. This is real. Cannot be explained. It's why it remains immaculate, cannot be limited. It's why it remains infinite. It cannot be owned. But the natural state is to be in devotion to a wisdom that has no knowledge. It is all intuitive, without thought, guiding the reflection of what has created the forgetting in perfection to disassemble this ingrained belief that I know what will make me happy, which is the root of all suffering. It is the root of all striving. It is the root that supports the world of content. Here in Portugal, where we live now, we live in the farm country, rural area, maybe 10 miles from the ocean. All of the farmers that are the neighbors, virtually none of them speak English. I speak no Portuguese. There is no common content. And what has been discovered without having this common content is a level of connection. Like now. Like right now. No content, no agitation. No agitation, no interpretation, no futurization, no point of reference, no identity, but something remains. And the feeling of this something, it is so obvious. It has always been. It is my existence. It is the true master. There is nothing more evolved than this. You are your own true master. It is not in content. It is not about the future. It is not about becoming enlightened. There is no becoming in it because there is no content in it. It is the feeling of what is. It is the light that makes the experience of seeing objects possible. It is the light that creates the experience of seeing objects. But when content is not followed, the light falls into itself. And this is what is called soul. It is the connection with totality, the infinite light of being, and the celebration of this recognition can be felt infinitely. We are so submerged in all of the tactical habits that content creates. But it is make-believe. It's just a dream. What is more intimate than the dream of change, driven by the content of belief? What is the one thing that is your true guide, your true guru, your true master, your connection with your true self? What happens to distance? What happens to time? What happens to anything that is expected or believed to be a thing? What happens to the perceiver of the things when there is no content? It all vanishes. Just to feel how it all vanishes. And in the absence of the distractive habit, what remains is the feeling that remains different for each player. It is the same feeling. Is there a beginning or an end to this feeling? What can be said is the more the attention relaxes into it, the more the relationship with it grows. But it is not an it, it's a you. It's the you that has been forgotten because of all of this constant stimulation, all at the root of believing content. What do you believe in without content? What is the value of belief? This is about your being. The true master, the true guidance, the true beauty that is right here, not interpreted with content, but felt as no separation. No separation. Feeling what has no separation. So beautiful. So beautiful. And then it is possible to feel the celebratory aliveness that is infinite. For the infinite nature of being has been waiting for your immersion And this immersion happens when there is the humility to let go of content. And this level of humility is no small feat, for the computerized program is not capable. And this is the habit of where to turn. In this, you do not know what turning is. It is just remaining, being an empty slate, stillness in relationship with stillness, light in relationship with light, unknowingness in relationship with itself, complete and total openness in relationship with itself. How beautiful is that, and how it is possible to feel the joy and the ease and the aliveness that erupts out of that. This erupting beauty already is. It already is. It lives within you. It lives within me. This is not two different people. It lives within itself, which is not localized, but everywhere, eternally, infinitely, always, right now. Always now. Who are you? The only fair way to ask this is, who are you without the deception of content? And then immediately everything is clear. Everything is clear. No content, no belief, no interpretation, just feeling yourself. The Sadguru that has always been searched for, and it is yourself, right now. Right now. just to remain, no matter what the body does. The key is not what the body is doing. The key is being free of the habit of content every time it is identified with. Just to let it go. It is the ticket into hell. What is being offered is heaven.